Eh ben, les amis, c'est avec un grand, grand, grand plaisir que moi, je vais avoir la chance, la bonne humeur de recevoir John Notto, le guitariste de Dirty Honey, qui est depuis les États-Unis entre deux concerts. Alors, ce soir Grand Rapids, demain Cleveland. Voilà, ils sont en pleine tournée. Ils sont en train de tourner pour le Can't Faint Break, un super album. Et puis, pour ceux qui l'ont deviné, moi, j'adore celui-là. Il est super. Et on en passe beaucoup. So, John, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. It's a great, 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 great pleasure to speak again with you, with Dirty Honey, with a new one who is coming, a tour, concert, many things, music. Wow, what's a great year, 2023. And I think we have to speak a little bit about 2024.
All right. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So, thanks, John. So, what is your feeling now? Because the new records Can't Find the Break is live since the beginning of November, and we're touring a lot in your country right now. So what is your feeling between a new records, share the new music? You play in Los Angeles a couple of days ago, and now you have to share a lot of fun and music. So what is your feeling now, John? Because it's a urge years, for sure, for Dirty Honey.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty excited about the album itself, and I'm feeling pretty excited about what people are saying about it to us when they come to shows. I really feel like we spread our wings a little bit. Stylistically, we ventured into some areas that maybe people wouldn't have expected, and they've been pleasantly surprised. So I'm very happy about that. I think there's a lot of music in us that we've maybe even barely just tapped into. So this first effort into making an album that isn't just straight riff, I think it's a success. And since we've put out the album, we've seen the attendance at the shows go up. You know, the fever's back. People are excited, and they're showing up, and they're ready to have a great time. And you look out and you see a lot of smiling faces and headbanging, and it's a really good time.
Yeah, for sure. Bah, voilà, vous l'avez compris. Alors, on est avec John Notto, donc le guitariste de Dirty Honey. On parlait bien sûr de ce nouvel album, Can't Find the Break, qui est maintenant disponible, vous le savez, depuis le 3 novembre. Et puis, ils en profitent. Ils sont aux États-Unis, ils sont en train de tourner. Vous l'avez compris. Donc, quel est son feeling? Ça se passe super bien. Il est super content. Il voit plein de gens qui sont super heureux, qui viennent au concert. Ils profitent de tout ça, ils avancent, ils s'envolent de plus en plus. C'est un grand, grand, grand moment. John, like you said a few seconds, we have a lot of people maybe with discover you with this second one. And I think it's maybe more difficult when we coming back with a new one. But this new one is so fantastic. So clearly, what is behind now Dirty Honey? Because you have to share a lot of music right now. And clearly, what is the next step for you? Because you have created a second fantastic records. You share the music with a lot of people. You coming back in 2024 in Europe for a large tour in UK and Europe. So I think for you, it's look like more than another beginning. It's clearly a new faces of Dirty Honey who is coming now.
So are you asking what's next?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, I just speaking about, of course, you have to share the new records, and it's very fun again. And I think it's very exciting for the band, for you, and for the rest of the band to share a second album, because sometimes it's very difficult when you're coming back with a second album. And by the way, you create a fantastic one. So what is your approach now? Because you have to share a lot of music, and I think pretty sure we have a lot of ideas for another one.
Yeah. Well, you know, we still play a lot of the songs that went over really well from the other records. We still play those live because they're just great concert songs. And we probably play about 50% of the new record. There's some stuff on the new record that particularly the last two songs on the record, are the keyboards are just such a big part of it. That is, and background singers, that it's tough for us to feel like we'd be able to represent them in a really impactful way without those, because we don't have a keyboard player on tour right now. I would love to add them in the future. I would love to add a keyboard and add background singers, you know, kind of like a lot of our heroes did that at some point, where they added a lot of extra musicians. I think that would be really cool, and it would be really cool to represent those songs on album. But you know, the plan loosely is to just stay on the road. You know, we're gonna go to Europe, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna do it in the US. You know, so we're just gonna keep doing it.
Bah voilà. Alors, on parle avec John, bien sûr, vous l'avez compris, de cet album qui est, qui est partagé en concert. Donc, 75% de l'album, du nouvel album sont joués, à part les deux dernières, parce qu'il y a du clavier, il n'y a pas de clavier, effectivement, qui tourne avec eux, hein, puisque voilà, l'album, le claviériste, peut-être il y en aura un, comme le dit John, hein, peut-être il va en prendre, il y en aura peut-être un qui viendra un jour, et puis bah, leur idée, c'est de tourner. Voilà, et puis bah, on parlera des concerts dans un instant. John, again, this new record is made with Nick Didia again. It looks like the 5 members of the band, I think, no?
Oh yeah, with Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of, I mean, yeah, he's done everything we've made. So, you know, it's definitely, especially after this one, it feels more like family, and it feels like home, you know, because we made the EP with him, which was
at the beginning,
you know, our groundbreaking one. And then we made the first album with him, but the first album, we were not able to make it in person with him. So I'm very impressed that we were able to make the album we did make, but it certainly felt more like wham bam, thank you ma'am, as we say. We got in, we hurried, we were down to business. There wasn't a lot of room for experimentation and magic, or really adding anything extra. So that was tough. So to get back in the studio with Nick in person, it really solidified, you know, that we like working with him, you know.
Bah voilà, comme on dit, alors, mon idée, c'était effectivement que le producteur Nick Didia, qui est vraiment, qui travaille beaucoup avec le groupe depuis le EP, et le 5e membre, alors comme le dit John, bah oui, c'est plus facile de travailler avec lui. Il y a beaucoup de choses. Alors, mais effectivement, même si ils ont travaillé ensemble sur le EP, ils n'ont pas travaillé tout à fait ensemble sur le premier album, mais sur celui-là, il est bien présent. Et puis ça apporte aussi un son particulier, du travail particulier. Et comme le dit John, c'est vraiment bah, une belle alchimie entre ce producteur et le groupe. Voilà, moi je suis très content du travail. Et John, maybe a lot, when I listen your new record, I'm coming back maybe 30 years ago when I listened for the first time Tesla or Black Crow or Aerosmith. We have a lot of good vibe on this new record. And by the way, one of my favorite bands played with you a couple of days ago. You share the stage with a Black Crow, with Chris Robinson, and you play Rock and Roll Damnation at your town. What's a great memory thing for this one? Huh? It's very special. We have a special guest, special town, special record. So maybe this Los Angeles show, maybe it's one of the most important since the beginning of Dirty On Air.
Well, it was certainly a blast to hang out with Chris before the show, you know, run over the music with him really fast, you know, just acoustic guitars down in the green room, and just listen to Chris be Chris. I call it the Chris show. You know, he's always the front man. He's always got a quip. He's always got a joke. He's quick on his feet. He's a true front man all the time. And having him on stage was really, it was cool for a couple reasons. One, who he is and how much of an influence he's had on Mark. And two, the way he sings actually is a lot different than Marc, even though he was a big influence on Marc. Chris, he'll stray from the melody and just put a lot of feeling and like blues and soulfulness into it. He'll put that ahead of the melody. So hearing him immediately just interpret Rock and Roll Damnation his own way, it was really cool to feel that, you know. And he doesn't sing with in-ear monitors. He sings with monitors, and he blasts them. So I could really hear the vocals on stage. It was really cool.
And by chance, we see some on YouTube. You share something on YouTube. So a lot of people see now this particular songs with a particular date and so on. So we have everything on YouTube. So on peut aller regarder. So on était en train de parler avec John, mais moi j'ai redécouvert. J'ai découvert le groupe et puis ça sonne voilà, très Tesla, très Grand Funk Railroad, Georgia Satellite et puis bien sûr Black Crowes et petit clin d'œil bien sûr à Black Crowes puisque Chris Robinson a partagé la scène au mois de novembre à Los Angeles pendant le concert. Le groupe Tournée, vous le savez, est originaire de Los Angeles. Donc ils ont chanté Rock and Roll Damnation et comme le dit John, c'était particulier parce que Chris, voilà, il a un certain feeling, il amène beaucoup de choses, il vient avec il amène voilà, des belles choses et ça a été un grand moment aussi pour le groupe. John, another question regarding the Rebel sound with on your record. It's a very long song. It surprised me because this is the first time that Dirty Honey wrote a song so long. What happened?
You know, that's part of our attempt to spread our wings a little and let the music go where it might just naturally go. Mm-hmm. And we had a blast doing it. When the piano comes in on that song, that actually was a different take on a different day than the front half. We had this whole different ending and we scrapped it. And we said, let's do something unique where we actually change the mood of the song and kind of have it be like a rejoice after this dark thing. And I pulled out this kind of riff that I had made up a long time ago. And then I kind of showed it to the keyboard player and we did that part of the song in just one take, all feeling, you know, all the stops that happened in it were, you know, just of the moment. And we just went with it. And we're really proud that we're.
It looked like
what's that?
Maybe, no?
Yeah, once the piano comes in, that's like I said, it's a jam. Yeah. We had just like a motif to follow, and that's it. And it was really like a hive mind kind of thing. And
I like that. That's it.
I'm so happy that we have that on.
Yeah.
As part of our thing, you know.
Comme on le disait, alors il y a un morceau qui est très long, c'est la première fois que Dirty Honey fait un morceau aussi long, c'est Rebel Son, le morceau fait 6 minutes 50, il y a le morceau de piano, et puis comme le dit John, eh ben, ils sont partis sur le morceau, il a sorti un riff, et puis ils ont fait ça en plusieurs morceaux, plusieurs bouts, et puis ils ont lancé, et il est très content d'avoir mis ce titre sur l'album, parce que c'est un morceau très long, très beau, et qui change de ce que fait un petit peu Dirty Honey. Maybe John, few words about the band. You started the band with, of course, Marc, and now you have a band with really solid, I would like to say, with Justin and Jaydon. What is the chemistry between you and the band when we create a new songs? You coming with some riff, or Marc came with some words and we put some music on it, or what is the best approach to create a Dirty Honey songs?
Most of the time, the music happens first. Marc likes to write lyrically and melodically over the music that's already done. So it's kind of like creating the perfect karaoke track for him, and then he goes and writes over it. So sometimes Justin brings in a riff. Most of the time it's me that brings in the riff. You know, the ballads Marc has mostly written by himself. The arrangement for the band you know, I have had a big part in coming up with it for those, like Another Last Time, and also Rome, you know, and Down the Road. Coming Home, that's actually, the finger picking is Justin on guitar. He studied classical guitar, so he came in with the chord structure and part of the melody as well, because you maybe don't hear it, but he kind of playing the melody along. It's a very classical piece in that sense. So, you know, he came in with that. So it can come from Mark or Justin or me or all of us together. We're pretty much open to it coming from anywhere. I would say the one constant is that it's always music first, then lyrics.
Bah voilà, donc un petit point sur la composition dans le groupe. Alors voilà, comme le dit John, bah, c'est souvent la musique qui arrive, et puis après, c'est bah, souvent John qui arrive avec un titre. Marc, bah, il arrive avec le titre. De temps en temps, Justin ou le groupe en entier peut créer quelque chose en direct parce qu'ils sont ouverts à mettre plein d'idées sur un même morceau. Et puis quand c'est des morceaux un peu plus cool, bah, c'est surtout Marc qui arrive avec une mélodie, John derrière, et puis voilà, ça balance et ça fait un superbe album. On est avec John Notto. On parle de ce Can't Find the Break with John. John, maybe we have to coming back in 2022. You know what I mean? In a couple of seconds. Which memory we keep during the Hellfest in France? Because a lot of people discover you, and a lot of people after that buy a lot of music. And when you're coming back in February 2023, we are totally sold out. So which memory we keep for the Hellfest in 2022?
I just remember that the crowd was pretty big for us, which was nice because I think we were basically on at like 11 a.m. or 12. We were very early, but there was a big crowd for us. They really liked us. I saw a lot of joy on people's faces, and I actually saw some Dirty Honey shirts out in the audience, and just overall, that was the memory that it felt like we were welcomed very, very highly. We were not at that festival for even a full day. I mean, we arrived in the morning, we played late morning, we had lunch, and we left. So it was a very quick experience. So there really wasn't any memories after that to even make. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people discover you, and we have a lot of fans who is coming back this afternoon to me to say thank you so much for John, because I discover the band during this part of the Hellfest. And by the way,
cool.
one of the people who is following Vinylestimes since a long time is called Sarah, and it is the birthday of Sarah today. And the gift by this father is just to provide the new album Can't Find the Break. So a lot of people discover you, and clearly happy birthday to Sarah. With discover after the interviews that we speak about.
Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, it felt like a very warm reception.
Yeah. Bah voilà, comme le dit John, donc qu'est-ce qu'ils gardent du Hellfest? Et ben en fait, c'était très court, hein. Ils sont arrivés le matin, ils ont joué à midi, il y avait beaucoup de monde, et puis ils ont mangé, ils sont repartis. Mais ça a fait découvrir beaucoup de musique de ce nouveau groupe. Et puis donc en mois de février de cette année, ils sont venus à la Maroquinerie, et c'était complètement full. John, before we ending, few words about the tour with ending on 2023 in your country. You're coming back in 2024. And we have a gig in Paris again at the Moulin Rouge. Wow, what a great venue. So again, maybe a sold-out show is coming in Paris, pretty sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited to be there. I've only, you know, walked by the Moulin Rouge. I've never been in, so I'm pretty excited to go there. And I like that part of town too in Paris. It's fun. So yeah, I mean, we're excited. The last time we played somewhat near there, I think up the hill a little bit.
Yeah, à la Maroquinerie, at the Maroquinerie. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was wild. I mean, people were wild. There was so much energy. It was so fun. So, you know,
I was
very
there.
excited
That
to
was
come back.
totally crazy. Yeah,
It was great.
Yeah,
I think I crowd surfed. Did I crowd surf that one? I can't. I think I crowd surfed. Yeah, I
and
did.
the feeling was so brilliant because we have a lot of people sweating and so on. And that was so great.
Yep.
Bah voilà, on est avec
I
John.
remember.
On a parlé de cette date donc à la Maroquinerie du mois de février. Ils reviennent donc le 14 mars exactement à la machine du Moulin Rouge à Paris. Ils seront de retour une nouvelle fois. Et nous, on a grand plaisir à aller voir une nouvelle fois Dirty, de revoir Marc, John, Justin et Jaydon live à Paris. On se fera un grand plaisir. John, before we ending, do you know some French words right now? Because you pass so many time in France now. You have to learn French.
Mon français est très mal.
John,
But, je t'aime.
Je t'aime. John,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time. Do you have a small word for the French listener? Maybe we discover Dirty just after this interview. And of course, we pass Won't Take Me Alive just after this interview. So maybe the floor is yours. Do you have some words for the French listener?
The French what? Listener. Oh, sorry.
Listener.
Yeah. Look, we're very excited to come play for you. You've always been great to us. Show up, bring your energy, and you know, get ready to have a rock and roll party with us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, John. Enjoy the rest of the tour.